What's happening, people? I'm here with the main man.
It's the champ.
Make sure you tune into Pep Talk UK, where it talks boxing and
big up.
Thank you, AJ.
Pep Talk UK. It's time!
Everyone talk good game, but it don't really faze me. The man that ain't mad like Max, the boy that not murky like Ace B. And them gal walk the slide on the back, balling like a baby.
Oi, oi! Welcome to the Pep Talk UK Sports Podcast. The podcast that talks the major boxing and football news from around the globe. Real points of view from a real panel. Hashtag real talk on Pep Talk. Please subscribe to Pep Talk UK on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share and comment. Now I'm your host, Frankie B, and I'm joined by a sick panel. Firstly, I'd like to welcome back from the capital city of France, Paris, Pascal. How are ya?
Frankie B, today I want to sing a very special song, and it goes a little bit something like this. Joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, joyeux anniversaire, Pep Talk UK, joyeux anniversaire. Frankie B, if I'm not mistaken, is 12 months of Pep Talk UK, is that correct?
It's 12 months, it's been, what a ride it's been, mate. We've had a lot of fun, mate.
It's been very, very fantastic. You know, there's a special place in the Moulin Rouge. Can arrange a birthday cake with a real life present inside. You know, you should come to Paris and take it to a very nice place. You know, mate, we can celebrate inside.
Mate, I'm good, mate. What about you? You're going to be moving to London soon, you know, to join Delphine.
Yes. You know, the child support agency has been out, so I forgot to either pay the monthly fees or come over to the UK, which is going to be cheaper for me, and I can spend time with Delphine and the baby that we are expecting. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it should be good fun. So you know, I hope that I'm getting things a bit finalized, and hopefully by the end of the summer I'll be calling in from Londres, from somewhere in London.
From London. So,
yes.
Pascal, it's been 12 months of Pep Talk. Any of your favourite episodes over the 12 months?
Oh, you know, there's so many. You know, I remember when Spencer Ferron came on. That was very
legendary.
Good.
That was like 3 episodes in.
Yeah, that was legendary, absolutely. Then we had some garage legends in Nikki and Nyke and Maxwell D. That was also very good.
With Heavy D, that was very lively.
Heavy D was also very lively. You know, also shout out to Troops. Also, Troops was very, very entertaining.
Troops is the first guy that I had to use the bleep for with all the swearing. You remember that?
I remember. And also, I'd like to save the best for last is you know, my crush, you know, media crush, which is, you know, CC, of course. You know, you know. So it's true, you know, and also
that was the rainbow in the storm.
That was certainly the rainbow, but also let me spread the love, because you know in France monogamy is not particularly you know the focus. We like to have more than one partner. I got to have big shout out to Ange also, you know, Angela Hepton, you know,
blonde bomber.
The blonde bomber, yes, I was also fancy her a lot. So yes, it's been very good. Yeah, very good for me.
You remember that English word I taught you? No, well, slang word I taught you, lit. It's been very lit, mate.
It's been very lit, very lit.
Right, we're running against time. I'm going to keep it moving. Now I'd like to welcome a lady who's rolling with us. She's more well-spoken than Theresa May. It's Miss Moneypenny. Cece, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, but please do not talk to me about politics. I would not know where to begin.
She's doing a good job, you know, Theresa May. No comment, no comment.
No comment. For the first time, I'm lost for words.
You might have to do what Andy Burton, you might have to say what Andy Burton said. If anyone's listening to this, I distance myself away from any dodgy comments.
Very good. Smart words.
So, Cece, what's going on with you? Obviously, you've just dropped your own YouTube channel in association with Pep Talk. Can you tell us a little bit about the launch?
Yeah, thanks for giving the shout out. I wasn't prepared for that. So, I have launched a YouTube channel. It's called Unbox UK, and the whole point of Unbox UK is it's meant to highlight everything that doesn't necessarily happen in the ring but behind the scenes, and not just with the fighters but also the nutritionists, the strength and conditioning coach, the stablemates, the friends, the family, the meal prep guys, the trainers, everyone. As a person, I'm really interested in the analysis of a fighter, the journey that they go through, and you know, from previous shows when I talk about fights, there's always the emotional element that I bring into it, and I guess I wanted to bring that to a YouTube channel, which is something I've had the desire to do for a very long time. And the word unbox is really key to me because it's me unboxing that fighter and unboxing the people in the actual sport. So it's a growing progress. It's a labour of love. I cannot tell you the amount of passion that is going to go into this.
Passion.
And I'm just really excited to have it out there.
Yeah. Interesting you said that word desire. Do you remember the tune? Freed from desire.
Yeah, I remember that. My good old Eros days.
But you know what? You know, we're working together as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. And we'll be behind you 100%. 100%.
So much. Thank you.
Very, very close behind you. Very much so.
So with the launch of Unbox, you want to shout out the social media? Your social media and the YouTube handle?
The YouTube handle, well, you'd have to go into my Instagram account to follow the link. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is CEMO_CC. And if you want to join in on the conversation, then of course, please find me on Twitter, which is CEMOCI.
Brilliant, brilliant. Miss Moneypenny CC Unboxed.
Thank you.
Haha. Finally, if you know about music, I'd like to welcome a man that is an Afro beats producer. It's Stun Legacy. How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's going on? You good?
What's all good, mate? What's all good? So how's things?
Yeah, everything is good. Everything is stellar, as they say.
Everything is Irie. Is it Irie?
Everything is Irie. Everything's stellar.
So, bro, obviously, you know, you produce Afro beats. You want to tell us a little bit about the music?
Yeah, I've been doing Afro beats for a while. Still, it's not just Afro beat as well, though. You know, venture into various genres of music. Main, you know, dancehall, Afrobeat, you know, reggae, you know, the grime back in the day.
Okay.
A whole load of stuff still. So it's all about good vibes, you know. There's no good and bad in any genre.
Okay, so basically you deal with different genres in terms of music. What about the projects? You got any projects that are due to be released right now, that are out in the market right now?
You know what? Got a single coming out next week. It's called Dance With You, featuring myself and my partner in crime, Striker Legacy. Okay. So that'll be that's due to get released on online stores. Yeah, next week. Still. So. Yeah.
So I know you used to do a bit of grime. You used to, you know, spit a few bars. Got any old bars to recite on the show? 8 bars.
Not right
no pressure. No pressure.
Not right now. No.
Don't worry, I was only kidding. Now, Stun, you want to shout out your social media?
Yeah, you got at Stun Legacy. You can find me anywhere on that. You got at Striker Legacy as well, not forgetting my partner in crime. You know, the Legacy music group, the team, they're out there as well.
Yeah. My boy Stan, he's working. He's putting that work in, that graft. Ladies and gents, for the fight fans locked in, for the football fans locked in, now it's time for some real talk on Pep Talk. Let's go! Yes, real talk, Pep Talk. Right, so we're going to start with the boxing, and as you may have heard, Joe Saunders will defend his middleweight crown against Willie Monroe Jr. It's the Battle of the Southpaws on September the 16th. Now, Pascal, Billy Joe's been itching to get back in the ring with a big fight and possibly take on the winner of Triple G versus Canelo. But he needs to get past the master of the Millie Rock, Willie Monroe Jr. first.
Well, yes, of course. I think that's a very good matchup, because, we've got two Southpaws going head to head together. Two lefties. And, two lefties, yes. Willie Monroe, tried to take on Triple G and unfortunately didn't succumb to Triple G's power and technical ability. So it will be very interesting to see how Billy Joe Saunders, fares up against Willie Monroe Jr. I believe that is actually a very dangerous fight, for Billy Joe Saunders, because Willie Monroe Jr., notably a very good boxer. When he fought Triple G, he did try as best as he could. He was in the fight for much of it, but the Triple G power was overwhelming, and Billy Joe Saunders is not noted for his power. He's more noted for his slippery style. He's a very good boxer, good technical ability, but not so much his power. So I believe that this could be a close fight. All
about skills. And Monroe Jr.'s got a lot of good footwork.
Yes, he certainly does, but so has Billy Joe Saunders. He moves quite well around the ring. He's very comfortable with the ring. He's also very difficult to hit. So what I'd like to is actually discuss is perhaps the battles of the jabs. Which of the two fighters will establish the jab, cut off the distance. In terms of athleticism, for me, Willie Monroe Jr. looks the more complete athlete, and so I just wonder how Billy Joe Saunders is going to adapt to the ring, because Willie Monroe will be quite athletic. We know that Billy Joe has suffered from ballooning between fights. He finds it very difficult to maintain his discipline, when he's not fighting. So will this have
a bit like his mate Tyson Fury?
A bit like his friends, Tyson Fury. Yeah, in the past, it's no secret. Billy Joe Saunders has talked about his lack of discipline. His diet's not been particularly great on kebabs and all sorts, Nando's and all sorts of things with extra hot chili sauce. But it's certainly going to be a big test for him, because for many people, particularly myself included, I felt that Billy Joe didn't test himself enough to, ever since he won the WBO, title. It felt that, he was almost hogging the belt, and we wanted him to be in much more exciting fights. The Triple G fight has been going back and forth for quite some time. And I think that to me, the fight with Willie Monroe Jr. will give Billy Joe an opportunity to showcase his skill, to see how good he really is. And the way he beats Willie Monroe Jr. will also give us an indication as to whether he will be in an exciting fight with either Triple G or Canelo. Should he choose to fight the victor of that particular fight. But before that, he needs to get past Willie Monroe, which I don't think will be an easy task to do.
Kind of getting into the head of Willie Monroe Jr. already.
Yes, one thing that that Billy Joe does very well is he's very good at intimidating his opponents, and as you say, getting under their skin. He's done that notably with the Eubanks before, and even at Triple G, the press conference in London where our good friend Chaz attended. Billy Joe Saunders was daunting Triple G, as well as Canelo. So he certainly has that skill, and it will be interesting to see whether Willie Monroe Jr. buys it, you know, or whether he concentrates on claiming the WBO middleweight title of Billy Joe Saunders. So, but it's part of the sport, you know. Boxing is very much, you know, it's very much a psychological game than as it is a physical one. So I certainly expect, you know, a lot of to and froing, you know, and the good thing about this particular fight is that, you know, the opponent can understand English, you know, Advandil Kurtzizi, if I can pronounce his name properly, didn't quite understand what Billy Joe was saying. So when Billy Joe was calling him a penis head and things like that, you know, Willie Monroe Jr. would not, you know, agree to it.
the master of the mind games, Billy Joe. Now, Stan, since Billy Joe won the title in 2015, he's had weight issues in between the fights. How will this kind of affect him approaching this fight?
You know what? I can't see him beating Willie Monroe. To be honest with you, yeah, I can't. Based on his last performance with the Arthur guy back in December 2016, it was diabolical. You know, for a champion to be performing that way, you know, I didn't see anything in his performance that was worthy of him even holding that title. I think, you know.
Do you think it was due to the fact that he wasn't in with a stellar name, couldn't quite get himself up for it?
I think he took too long out. I mean, the fight before that was what, full year out without fighting after winning that WBO title. That's way too much time out. He spent too much time just rattling on, talking on social media and this and that, and not enough time, you know, grafting his craft.
CC, if Billy Joe wins this one, do you see him beating either Canelo or Triple G, the winner of that one?
I think we're pushing it a bit too far with that, to be honest. I mean, listen, I have a lot of respect for Billy Joe Saunders, and going back to what Pascal said, yes, he does have lack of discipline, yes, he does balloon in weight, but he has every right to be where he is. He has a right to be cocky. I think Billy Joe is getting under Monroe's skin a little bit. I could see in the press conference Monroe was trying so hard.
Because he said to him, why did you quit?
Yeah, and he knows where to push the buttons. But don't forget, he comes from the school of fury, so he's going to have that attitude about him. And, you know, he's all playing about mind games. But I think we need to see it happen. Do I think he will then progress on to the winner out of Triple G or Canelo? I don't think so. I think they're in a league. They're in a different league. I think it's all about levels, and he's done well to get to where he's at now. And I'd really like to see him fight Chris Eubank Jr. I'd love to see that happen again.
The rematch. Yeah. He'll have to move up and wait.
But I think Monroe is a bit of a dark horse. Yes, he has been. It will be a year to the date when he actually officially fights, from September last year to this September. He's an athlete, and he's been training no matter what. So,
yeah.
And Triple G was exposed. Going back to the Jacobs fight, he was exposed in that fight, and I think that's given Monroe maybe a bit of encouragement. You know, actually, maybe, you know, there's nothing that he can still come forward and continue fighting. So I hope he's not a quitter. It's going to be a very interesting fight.
It will be. Right. Well, moving on. Eubank Jr. Pascal. Easy work.
Well, you know, it was a very good to defense, you know, from the young Brit. You know, it was a convincing one also. One thing I can also say about Chris Eubank Jr. is that he's constantly improving. You know, and he looked a lot better in his combination with, you know, certainly the use of the uppercut is now synonymous with Chris Eubank Jr. You know, he's certainly
I call it his dragon punch.
You know, it's a bit like the Street Fighter that Sagat used to throw. Do you remember that? So he's you know, he's shown that he's got a lot of versatility in his boxing. You know, but there's a very big but. And I'm not talking Sir Mix a lot, but, you know, it's more, for me, it is quite apparent that the power has not yet developed in Chris Eubank Jr. Will he ever have the power at super middleweight? I'm not too sure. Because, you know, the way that he was dominating the fight from start to finish, you know, a lot of lesser fighters, you know, will have succumbed to the pressure. So either, you know, Arthur Abraham is a very tough mother bleep, or Chris Eubank Jr. doesn't have the power at that weight division to KO the likes of Arthur Abraham, the more durable veteran fighter. I mean, Arthur Abraham is 37 years old. As a boxer, I've been taking so much punishment from a very long time. You would expect, a prospect like Chris Eubank Jr. with the kind of skill level, and the kind of punch combination and the kind of work rate that was displayed last week, Saturday, to dispatch of an opponent, whether it's a body punch or whether it's, free sheer determination and free sheer, pressure fighting. That Arthur Abraham's corner will say, our fighter has taken too much punishment, but it looks to me that despite the onslaught of punches from Chris Eubank Jr., Arthur Abraham, was able to withstand it and finish the fight. So credit to Arthur. What's also very interesting as well, Frankie B, is that when Arthur was able to double up on the jab, Chris Eubank felt a bit uncomfortable, he felt like he had a wedgie in his pants, he didn't quite like that. and to me, it shows again that, the jab, particularly a good jab boxer that's able to throw a good jab repeatedly, like can cause a bit of pressure, like Billy Joe Saunders, but also I want to make, a potential, comparison to George Groves. That fight could potentially happen, and we know that Groves throws a very good jab. Yes, because now, it means that Chris Eubank Jr. progresses to the World Super Series, and there's a potential that he may well meet George Groves in a semi-final. Provided that he dispatches of his Turkish opponent, but is possible. It's very much possible. And if he finds himself in a situation where, he's fighting a boxer that has a much better, use of the jab, that's able to throw the jab more consistently, then, we'll see a Chris Eubank Jr. not very good at fighting on the back foot, not very good in counter punching, when he's on the back foot. So, it'll be interesting to see how the next couple of fights are going to be for him, and anybody studying, the Chris Eubank Jr. and when he has difficulties in his fights, will see that the jab, from the outside, of course, the jab could be a big problem. But look, give big credit to him. We, as you remember, Frankie B, we had the opportunity to meet him at the weigh-in, and
it looks like he's bulked up quite a bit as well. It does.
Yeah, he looked in fantastic shape. Very, very well. Conditioned man, and we look forward to seeing him in more exciting fights.
That's right. Now CC, credit to Arthur Abraham. There's no quitting the man, is there? He weren't gonna quit.
No. I felt Abraham showed a level of toughness throughout. We cannot take that away from him. Eubank, I felt, tried so hard to knock Abraham out for the first 10 rounds, and then he took it down a gear. So, to me, I felt, yes, Eubank landed some very accurate uppercuts, and surprisingly, he did get caught and came back up. But ultimately, Eubank undressed Abraham. It was pretty much evident from the first round that Eubank was going to thrash the bout. He was the most, he kind of bewildered, he dominated. His combination of uppercuts and jabs, I felt, was incredible. And Abraham is probably, in my opinion, the most experienced fighter that Eubank has faced. He managed to catch Eubank out with some incredible shots in the later rounds. But you know what? I'm starting to become very convinced by Eubank. He's a very exciting fighter. He's very much a fan. He fights toe to toe. He's charismatic. He's narcissistic. But then again, everybody's narcissistic these days. But he has all the qualities that you want in a commercial fighter, in a boxing fans fighter. And he has got a great chance in the Super 8 tournament. I have to say, he's got me convinced. He is the real deal.
So do you see him beating George Groves? Because potentially if he beats his Turkish opponent, he's going to fight Groves in the semi-final. Do you honestly see him beating George Groves and taking that WBA title? Because in fairness to Groves, he's lost 3 times, but it's twice as to Carl Froch and then once as to Badu Jack. That's right. Really, I think that will be Eubank's biggest test.
To date, once that happens, if it happens, I would agree it would be the biggest test.
Now, Stan, Chris Eubank Jr., he's beat Arthur Abraham, and now he's moving on to the World Boxing Super Series. How do you think will get on? Do you think he'll win the tournament?
Boy. I mean, first of all, I'd like to say, the performance the way he performed on Saturday was, fantastic. He did everything he needed to do against a very tough opponent. For Chris Eubank to even get near to knocking out Arthur Abraham, I think it was asking for a bit too much. But he did what he needed to do, skill-wise, speed, scoring the points. He did everything he needed to do, so that was fantastic. Looking at the series now, Chris Eubank, I think it's going to be a tough one.
He can do it. If he gets past George Groves, he can do it.
Yeah. If he gets past George Groves.
But potentially Callum Smith, that's a big super middleweight.
There you go. It is a tough one. And like I said, Chris Eubank Jr. he's kind of new into that weight division. So it's kind of like that's what I'm saying. These guys are, especially like George Groves, that is his weight. So it's kind of a difficult one. But I think he's got the speed, he's got the athleticism to do it. But it's just, for me,
power.
Going back to what Pascal was saying, the power, although boxing ain't all just about power as well. You still have to have the skill, and I think he's got the skill to do it. It's
how does he get that power? Is that more dumplings with rice and peas, or how does he get the power?
I mean, but
is it selfish fritters? I mean, what is it? Yeah.
I don't think Eubank Jr. doesn't have the natural power that his old man did. Yeah, he doesn't have that natural power, and I think it comes down to technique. I think.
It's not all about power though, Stan, because Andre Ward is not a concussive puncher. He uses his boxing skills around the ring to get the victories, and he's, one of the pound for pound greats. It's not good that we get gassed over power.
Exactly.
It's about boxing skill.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Chris Eubank, he's definitely got the skill. I love the way he puts his combinations together. But you kind of sense that the amount, he's quite accurate as well. But you kind of sense that the amount of punches he lands on his opponents, high volume, and he doesn't knock them out. It's kind of like, something's missing. Something's not quite there yet. Yeah. Because I mean, look. There are moments where he was like landing like uppercuts in a row. How many? Like 3-4 uppercuts in a row, and the man ain't dropping.
Yeah. But you know what? He's getting used to the weight, and as long as he uses his boxing skills, and he can pick up victories that way, it's not all about power.
Yeah.
Now, Pascal, just a quick word, moving on to our final topic. Breaking news this week. We could possibly have Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, your favourite boxer.
Superb. Somebody has got to go.
Will it be Deontay's?
Well, look, Frankie B, for a very long time, a lot of people in the boxing community, I've questioned the title defenses that Deontay Wilder has had, since he captured the WBC from Bermain Steven. So, and I think that was back in 2015, and he's been fighting very poor opponents, by the standard of the belt, and by virtue of the boxers before him who've held that belt, the WBC heavyweight, belt is probably one of the most coveted in the sport of boxing, and one that
he's very well respected. Picking a few cherries?
I believe that Deontay Wilder has created opportunities that has given him an advantage to remain and to retain the belt. In fact, I don't want to have any libelous claims made against me.
You don't want drama with the bomb squad.
Certainly not. And I now attend quite a lot of boxing circles, so you could easily recognize my accent and start punching me in the face. But look, you know, Frankie B, to answer your question, for me it's an exciting fight because Luis Ortiz deserves a shot at the heavyweight title. He's been sidestepped for quite a long time. He's been ignored, and there's nothing more dramatic than having a talent like Luis Ortiz, you know, being ignored. You know, boxing, and certainly boxing fans have the right to see, you know, talent being showcased. It seems to me that Cuban fighters, you know, from the likes of Guillermo Rigondeaux and Luis Ortiz have not been given the opportunity to shine because they're not, you know, the English speaking, or they don't have the, you know, they don't have, you know, the desire to express themselves in English. But for me, boxing is a natural language. You know, it transcends language in itself. The talent itself should speak for itself, and you can always have spokesperson, people to talk on behalf of the boxer. You know, and Luis Ortiz has a genuine opportunity to show his skills to the rest of the world, and also Deontay Wilder has an opportunity to show us, is he really as good as he believes it is? You know, let's not take anything away from Deontay. Deontay has got the power of God in both hands. You know, those hands, he certainly deliver the 10 Commandments. So he does have a lot of power, but the technique and the ability does fall on Luis Ortiz. And it will be certainly an amazing fight if that fight goes ahead. But Frankie B, I'd like to mention this, that Steve Earn is supposed to be the mandatory challenger. That's right. And he's not willing to step aside, and he's willing to also get legal advice on this to protect his opportunity to fight.
If the check is big enough, he'll step aside, mate.
I'm sure if the check is big enough, he may step aside. But for Steve Earn, does Steve Earn believe that he has the skill set to beat Ortiz? So he perhaps, because remember that it was a unanimous decision on behalf of Deontay Wilder that secured Wilder the WBC. So he believes that he can maybe fine tune, you know, his training and to cause more problems. You know, Deontay will be 2 years older from when they met, so there's an opportunity for Steve Earn to maybe psychologically prepare himself into winning the fight. But against Ortiz, a much better, taller, rangier, and technical fighter, you know, it may well prove to be quite difficult for Steve Earn to overcome.
It may well be. Well, let's hope the fight goes ahead. Steven, please take that check. Now it's interview time. Ahead of the Dovebox Promotions card entitled Make or Break, our boxing correspondent Chaz spoke with the promoter Tommy Dove and some of his boxers who will feature on the bill this weekend. Firstly, let's hear from the main man himself, Mr. Tommy Dove.
Really had a major impact. Plus the fact that I had
Pep Talk UK, joined by one of my favourite promoters, a guy I consider a friend of mine, and someone that puts on some cracking shows. It's Mr. Tommy Dove of Dovebox Promotions. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm very well, thank you, Chez. Thank you for the introduction.
I was actually trying to not go OTT with it. I went quite normal on that one, because I'll be honest, in front of you and behind you, I've got good things to say about you.
Thank you.
And it's because I know the amount of graft that you put in behind the scenes, which not everyone gets to see. No. I've seen you standing there trying to tie up banners. I've seen you running around after boxers trying to get them to give interviews, and it's a lot of the stuff that people miss in terms of what a promoter does.
Yeah, it's certainly at the level that we're at, we have to be able to put as much sweat and tears as what the boxers do. Obviously we don't put in the blood, we don't put in the kind of stuff that goes in the ring, but out of the ring the least we can do is put as much work in as they do.
Now you've got a good little show coming on, Make or Break, 23rd of July at York Hall. Yeah. Who come up with the name?
I come up with all the names, so I have a little team who sort of veto a lot of it, or kind of just see whether or not it's right, but more often than not the names I come up with they're pretty happy with. But Make or Break, it just seemed the right thing to do. I mean, a lot of these guys, it's a situation with Dominic springs to mind, one or two more, even Ryan Toms. So yeah, it seemed like an apt title for what I think is going to be a cracking show.
Now, main event.
Yeah.
Herman Toms.
That's a fantastic fight. I mean, people may not necessarily know Arthur Herman and Ryan Toms, and I can even hear the people that are mainly mainstream type of boxing fans will say, who's Ryan Toms and Arthur Herman? Look at their records, look what they've done. It's very competitive, and I think styles make fights. One's southpaw, one's orthodox, one's a puncher, one's a boxer, one's a come forward fighter, one's a counter puncher. It's got all the ingredients.
Now, when you talk about make or break, you've got some experienced campaigners on there like Dominic, Akinlade, some mid-range fighters that have had a couple of fights here and there like Mr. Ashley Dumetz.
Yeah.
Some of the young up-and-coming prospects that I'm genuinely excited by. You've got Chesney Hawkins on the card.
Chesney, yeah, fantastic. Really enjoy working with him. He's a good ticket seller, so obviously that's a massive bonus, but he's a really likeable young man, South London boy, not far from me. His family, his people around him, they support him unbelievably. So, and of course he's trained by Mr. Alec Wilkie, so he's got a great team, and I think he's going to go far. He just needs to just one step at a time. He's very young, no need to rush.
You got the bad boy on the card, Mr. Andre Sterling.
Bad boy, yeah, indeed. He's going to be a big name, I think. I think he's definitely got all the ingredients. He likes a fight. He's in a great gym at the Peacock with Brian Lawrence. He's sparring with the likes of Anthony Yard. He's got great sparring down on a regular basis. There's no excuses for him to fail. He's at a good age. I think he's 25, 26, so he's got 4, 5, 6 years if he wants it. And I think you're going to be hearing a lot about him. I think he's got all the talent and all the tools. It's just if he can implement them.
You got another lad on the show, Mr.
Joel Dessau,
making his debut.
Oh yeah, I mean,
big puncher, heavyweight.
Well, Shaz, what it is, he's got fantastic temperament. Comes across as a very nice, very manageable type of character on the outside of the ring. Inside of the ring, he's an animal. He's got a wonderful jab, a really beautiful jab, which he's lucky that he's working with the people down at McGuell's. He's working with Don Davis and Johnny Sims. Don Davis has been there, seen it, done it. Worked with Henry Akinlade, worked with some of the top names in domestic boxing, South London boxing. If anyone can get the best out of Joel Dessau, I genuinely believe it's those two, and they're building him up piece by piece. It's like watching a structure go up. I see him in the gym, they're just watching him on the bag with the jab. It's wonderful to watch, and it's kind of like the very first building mechanics of building him up, and I think he's got champion material in him.
And then to round off the card, you've got young, exciting Triple Z, you've got Nathaniel Wilson, you've got Pesta superstar John Harding. It is a good event.
It's a good card. I mean, as I said, there's a lot of talent in there, and there's a lot of personality in there as well. I mean, Nathaniel Wilson's a massive personality, John Harding, massive personality. Obviously, you know him well, Chaz. He's an actor, he's a rapper, he's a boxer. If I had my way, I'd probably ask him to concentrate a bit more on the boxing, but he's spreading himself extremely thin, and I think that's probably why he had a bit of a setback in the last fight. I know for a fact that he's putting a lot more into this, hence why he's not here today, because he's sparring with Chris Eubank Jr. So that's fantastic work for him, and we'll look to get him another win and then put him back on the path where he belongs.
Tommy, we'll be there. It promises to be a cracker. From experience, your shows have never let me down today. I've had a good time every time I come. I encourage everyone to go and buy a ticket and come and support your local Tommy Duff.
Thank you very much, and big up Pep Talk UK and yourself, Chaz. Thanks for the interview.
Lovely, cheers buddy.
Nice to hear from the head honcho. Now let's hear from a man that's returning to the ring, Southern Area Heavyweight Champion, Dominic Top Gun Akinlade.
Pep Talk UK, joined by a friend of the show, Top Gun himself, Mr. Dominic Akinlade. How you doing, Dom?
I'm very well, my friend. You know how it goes. How are you?
I'm good, Dom. You've been getting a bit of stick. 2 fights. One that just we can't talk about. The second one was a good fight, good opponent in Nathan Gorman.
Yeah.
Where we at?
Well, right now we just had to reassess a lot of things, and I'm with Richard Williams now, and we've just basically had to go right back to the drawing board and start all over again. And you know, me and Richard, we've gelled. We've got a very, very good relationship. He understands me because for the last 2 years I've been sparring his guys, so he knows every single one of my flaws. So now that we're working together, it's like all the flaws, all the things that he could see that was wrong, he's making it a point to correct every single one of them, and we've made such great progress in a short space of time. I've been moving around with different people. I went over to Ricky Hatton's camp for a week with Nathan Gorman, the guy I lost to in my last fight, and I could see that there was a big improvements in my style, in my technical game. I was sparring with Tom Little last night, and again, very, very good sparring session, but it didn't take anything away from what I'd achieved thus far. Sometimes in this game, boxing is a wicked sport, but it can be the greatest thing. One day you're marching towards, you're the top 10 in the country, you're marching towards titles, and next minute you're out in the rain. That's how it happens. But it's all about determination, and I haven't given up. I just realized that I had to reassess certain things. I knew there was problems technically when I got dropped by Makaj back in October, but there was a lot of problems outside. I was going through a lot of stuff outside, in my personal life, and that really, really affected me mentally. Now I've got over all that stuff, and now we're just looking forward to improving. And I'm out on the 23rd of July against, I believe it's Thomas Mazarak. He's a southpaw guy, strong, durable. He's been put over by a couple of good people. So right now we're just focusing on that, and hopefully we'll move on from that and get back to where we're supposed to be, back in the top 10.
Dominic, you see the respect for you. I never said a word. I just let you talk. Well, we're going to be there on the 23rd. We wish you the best. Good luck. Go and do the business, Dom.
Say no more. Thank you very much, man. And thank you for your support, man. I appreciate everything.
Pep Talker behind you, bro. All the way.
Thanks a lot.
Until you hang up them gloves, and then I'll still be harassing you.
Of course.
Lovely. Nice one, Dom. Take care,
too,
my
brother.
brother.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, bye.
Next up, we hear from the Arabian warrior, Triple Z.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a lad who is going to be having his second fight on the 23rd on a Tommy Dovebox show. I saw him make his debut, 4-rounder, looked impressive in the ring. It's Mr. Triple Z. How you doing?
Hello everyone. All is well. I'm excited, ready here. Press conference looking good, looking fly as always. Like I said, my good looks pay the bill. Obviously my skills as well.
So what is it? The skills pay the bills, or is it the good looks pay the bills?
Bit of both, innit?
Now, when we last spoke, you just come off the back of a lovely little win. You've got some rounds under your belt. You're fighting on the 23rd. What can we expect on the 23rd?
Wow, look, to be honest, I changed trainers. I'm training with Roy Connors. I can tell you, because you're going to expect a lot. My skills have improved. Every little thing I've tweaked, enhanced it. I feel good, ready to go. This fight is going to be explosive.
Now, when you said you've changed trainers, have you changed gyms as well? Where are you training now?
I'm training with my trainer, Roy Connors. He's got a little gym. It's called Roosters. It's Bromley. It's up and coming. We've got a few fighters. We've got a Jamaican Olympian coming up as well. So let's keep an eye for us.
Now, I call you Triple Z. What's your full name?
My name is Z Zuhair Zaki Muhammad Al Ghatani. It's a long name.
And for the listeners, you're the Arabian warrior. Where did you hail from?
I'm originally from Saudi. I'm the first boxer from Saudi Arabia. So I'm here to make history. The first British Saudi boxer.
Now, for our listeners that want to give you a follow, give a shout out to your social media handles.
Follow my Instagram, Triple Z Boxer, Twitter, Triple Z Boxer, and Facebook, Zuhair Al Ghatani. Listen, make sure that you're there to support on July 23rd. Come watch the skills in action.
Lovely, my brother. You take care. We're at Pep Talk going to be watching your career as it develops. Second fight, I consider it a 2-0 for me as well, because I'll be at the second one as well.
No, definitely. You're going to see the first Arabian banger in action.
Lovely. Cheers, my brother. You take care. Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Triple Z. Time to hear from a middleweight boxer, Brixton native, Ashley Bailey Dumetz.
Pep Pep Talk UK are joined by a guy who I've seen fight in all his fights so far. He's a guna, which I don't like about him, but everything else I love. It's Mr. Ashley Bailey Dumetz. How you doing, Ash?
I'm doing really well. I feel good, feel strong, feel nice and loose, ready to get back into the game, man.
23rd of July, Dovebox, York Hall. You're on the card. How ready are you?
I'm as ready as I could be. You know, I've been, you know, dealing with a few personal things. That's why I took a bit of a longer break. But I am hungry. I'm back, and I'm happy to be back. You know, training really well. Everything's been going really well. We're just waiting for an opponent. My opponent's changed a couple of times, so
don't matter who it is.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah, listen, all guns blazing. All guns blazing. More what I got in my locker. You're gonna see that, and we're just gonna get the W, and that's it.
Where are you training out? Who are you training with?
I'm still training at Miguel's, but you know, I got other people helping behind the scenes. But Miguel's is where I'm training. Richard Williams, you know, he's my trainer. So
the secret.
Yeah, the secret. Exactly.
The not so secret.
Not so secret now, but the secret.
Now, your first fight, you went in at the deep end. You got a loss against a talented lad. You were on a bit of a winning streak. You've got 2 wins under your belt, and then you come up against Taylin Jones, which was a good fight. And I'll be honest, Ashley, the thing I like about you is you're not one of them that's trying to go for a padded record. You're fighting whoever's in front of you. Win, lose or draw, you're in there and you're not running from anyone.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, this is the fight game. If you come in and you want to do something in the game, you got to go for it. There's no point coming in, fighting. Don't get me wrong, obviously, journeymen are part of the game. You know, they're there to make a living, they're there to bring people on. But at the end of the day, if you're going to fight, like, I don't know, 10 of them and say that you know, just to say you're a boxer, and if you're not planning to do nothing, I don't see the point in that, you know. If you believe in yourself,
Actually,
go
that's
out
all
there.
good, because I was about to turn pro and line up a few journeymen. I was going to get to 10-0 myself.
No, I mean, again,
Actually,
that's not
supposed to laugh at that. You got a chance there, pal.
Listen, that's not taking no shots at no one as well. That's just my personal opinion. I've come in the game to show what I can do, and I'm trying to go for something. So my whole thing is I'll fight whoever's put in the ring with me, and I'm coming to win. So yeah.
Now, for our listeners that want to give you a follow, what are your social media handles?
Social media, you can find me on Facebook, Ashley B/D. I don't use that as much, but I'm on Facebook. Instagram is Ash Dumetz. On Twitter, you can find me at Ashley Lionheart BD.
Well, Ashley, I'll be there on the 23rd. I always end up with no voice by the end of it because I'm shouting you on. But best of luck on the 23rd. Go get that win.
Listen, thank you. Thanks to everyone at Pep Talk UK as well. Always giving me interviews. Like, I appreciate the exposure. And try and get there for the 23rd of July. Message me for a ticket. More the merrier.
Lovely. Nice one, Ash. Thank you, brother.
Miguel's Gym Massive, what up? Now let's hear from a young light welterweight that is 2-0. It's Chesney Hawkins.
Pep Talk UK are joined by a lad who I owe an interview to. It's an overdue interview because I like this lad. His name is Mr. Chesney Hawkins. How you doing, Chesney?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm always well. You got a fight coming up, 23rd of July, Dovebox. You're in with some cracking lads on a card.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm from Mitcham. I had 11 amateur fights, but amateurs weren't really for me, so I decided to turn over. And since then, I ain't looked back. I've had 2. This is my 3rd one coming up, my first 6-rounder. So pushing on from here and hopefully have a challenge belt or something soon to come.
Now, your trainer, I've got a lot of time for. For the listeners, let them know who your trainer is.
Alec Wilkie.
Now, you're based in Lansbury ABC.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of cracking lads in there with you.
Yeah.
Richie Gray one. Second one is Imran Hussain.
Yeah.
And you've got young Lou Smith in there as well.
Yeah.
So you've got a cracking little stable where you guys knock the crap out of each other.
Yeah, the gym's buzzing. It's really buzzing down there at the minute. We've also got ID Hill, Johnny Coyle, Dan Connor, Arthur Herman, who's fighting for the challenge belt on this show. So the gym's buzzing at the minute down there. Yeah, it's good sparring.
When you're in with the other lads, do you spur each other on to get better?
Yeah. So you see someone's having a bad day or they're struggling, and all the boys get behind them, push them on, give them that little bit of fuel to like get through the session. And we're all like a big family down there. You know what I mean? No one dislikes each other. We all get along. We have a laugh, but when it's time to work, we go work.
Now, in terms of your weight, what weight are you fighting at?
Super lightweight, which is 64 kilos, so I'm 65. So still cutting weight now. Got a couple more weeks, a few more kilos to get off me.
You'll be ready fight night?
Yeah, I'll be ready, 100%, yeah.
Now, for our listeners that want to give you a follow, what are your social media handles?
My Instagram, CH_LRPH. My Twitter is Chesney H Boxer. And my Facebook is Chesney Hawkins, so that's all my social medias that I've got.
Chesney, we at Pep Talk are going to be following your career.
Cheers, mate.
Good
Appreciate
luck. We'll be there on the 23rd. Go do the business.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Finally, let's hear from an up-and-coming light heavyweight, Andre Sterling.
Pep Talk UK are joined by an exciting light heavyweight who's got one wicked nickname, but I'll let him say it himself. It's Mr. Andre Sterling. How you doing, Andre?
Fine, thank you.
Now, before I talk about anything else, before I talk about how you're an exciting light heavyweight, tell me your nickname.
The bad boy, so they call me.
The bad boy, trust me, and he has got the attitude, the charisma and the persona to live up to that, and I've seen him in the ring.
Yes, that's correct.
2-0.
2-0.
Third one coming up?
Third one coming up real soon, on the 23rd of July.
You're cool. On a Dovebox show?
On a Dovebox show.
How's training going?
Training's going fantastic. I can't even complain. It's the fittest I've been in my whole entire career. You know what it is, because I was an amateur, I just said professional, I'm going to take it to the next level, give it 110%, stay determined, stay dedicated, you know, and no days off, hard work pays off, so that's what I've just been doing, to be honest.
Now, a lot of the pros have got a lot of time for you. They say a lot of good things about you, because you've got a good little team around you as well. Where are you training out of, and who's training you?
I'm training out of Peacock boxing gym in Canning Town, and I'm being trained by Ian Andrews and Brian Lawrence.
I've got a lot of time for Brian, I've got a lot of time for Ian. They're both very experienced. Do they give you a hard time in the gym?
You know what? No, you know, it's because we go on the same goals. I understand why they're doing it, but yeah, they give me a hard time. It's like no rest, no chill, hashtag, you know. So we be doing a lot of runs, a lot of bag work, a lot of pad work, and a lot of sparring. But you know, it's all beneficial, you know. As I said, like, I'm improving every time, every week. I'm understanding the sport more and more. They're educating me, you know. So I can't even complain, man. You know, as long as the results come, I don't mind training hard.
What are your social media handles so the listeners can give you a follow?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram right now. Instagram is Andre Showtime Sterling, and I haven't set up a Twitter yet, but I'm soon to set that up, and you can follow me on that one. But I'll notify you on my Instagram when that's done.
Lovely. Well, good luck on the 23rd. Go get that win.
Yes, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Lovely. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck to the young bull this weekend. Make sure you get down to York Hall, Bethnal Green, Sunday the 23rd of July. Make or break. Let's go. Cracking interviews, Shaz. Lovely jubbly. Yo, MJ. Now it's football time. We look at transfers once more. But the biggest news on the transfer front is Chelsea have finally got a striker, and it's Alvaro Morata. 60 million. Now, Pascal.
Wait.
60 million Alvaro Morata. Spent a lot of time on the bench at Real last season. Is he worth that type of cash?
Conte, you know, was willing to splash that kind of money. He sees something in Morata that he's willing to pay for, you know, and I've got full confidence that Conte has acquired himself a world-class striker.
And he knows him from Juve.
And he knows him from, of course, from the Italian league. Yes, of course. So he's going to be an interesting acquisition, and perhaps an interesting adaptation for Alvaro Morata, who's not had the opportunity to play much football in the in La Liga. I would even say that he probably was the victim of preferential treatment to other players ahead of him. Benzema, notably, of course, we have a fellow Frenchman in the great Zidane, who's managing the Real Madrid, and who would rather prefer for Benzema to get the game time, also in preparation to perhaps Benzema's final World Cup next year. But look, Alvaro Morata is set to, for me, will set the Premier League on fire because he's an excellent technical striker, and he will certainly adapt to the game, to the league in a way that Conte will allow him to perform at the highest level, which means that Diego Costa is perhaps likely to return to maybe Atletico Madrid
after his antics in Madrid.
I mean, he's made it very clear that he did miss Atletico Madrid during his short spell at Chelsea, and he feels that maybe a homecoming to Madrid would be a good way to end his career. You know, last year there was some issues about him going to China and sulking over a potential mega move. That move didn't quite happen. You know, I believe that the move was actually, forced, in terms of Conte not allowing Diego Costa to leave, which probably helped them cement the Premier League title to some extent. So that move was blocked rather by Conte, and it's now time for Conte to release a player. It's certainly revenge. I mean, Conte probably, wants to create a true Roman, Legion army, and Diego Costa seems to be more of a mercenary than a soldier willing to form part of his revolution. So I expect Diego Costa to certainly go back to Spain, and for Morata to be given the opportunity to become the first choice striker. But I expect maybe more strikers coming to Chelsea because Lil Kim has also been ready.
MJ, obviously Morata is about to come into Chelsea, but he's a different striker to Costa. He's more of a poacher, whereas Costa's got more of a physical presence.
Absolutely, Frankie B. The player Morata, he has so much good movement. He's not going to be kicking and biting and trying to gouge the eyes out of defenders as well. So yeah, I bet you there's a lot of Premier League defenders this evening. They'll be very, very happy because this news of Morata actually joining Chelsea it means they don't have to see Costa next season, which they're very, very excited about. However, I do have to say, this is actually quite worrying for me as a Liverpool fan and for everyone in the league, because Italians have this philosophy that they love to strengthen from a position of strength, i.e. when you're winning, that's when you put the hammer down and you totally go for it. So far, Chelsea have signed 3 players to improve their first team. They've signed Bakayoko, who will walk into their first team and actually go. There's talk of him being the new Patrick Vieira. They signed Rudiger, who, if we're all being told to believe, then the days of Gary Cahill might be numbered. Because
he's an upgrade for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely an upgrade. And now they brought in Morata, who might not be an upgrade because Costa gives you goals, gives you assists. His link-up play with Pedro and Hazard last season was absolutely pivotal. So it's a different style of player, but we need to remember, Conte tried to sign him last summer, and Conte signed him for Juventus, but he walked out the pre-season, so never actually got to use him. So he's someone who Conte has been trying to get his hands on. So absolutely, Conte will know you will know how to use him, and I think it should be exciting to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, because you're looking at that forward line, Pedro, Morata, even Hazard. That's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in the Premier League, we're going to see. Apart from your Ronaldos and your Messi, who are just on another level, and maybe Lewandowski and Suarez, it seems like all the other strikers will be based in the Premier League this season. Very, very exciting times.
Very exciting time. What about Liverpool? I hear you guys looking to splash the cash, mate, on is it Keita? 66 million? Is he worth that? Let's be serious.
Well, this market is absolutely crazy. When the hell did Virgil van Dijk be worth 17 million or whatever it is? When the hell did Lukaku become the most expensive player in the world, if we're to believe the add-ons You factor in the fee of Wayne Rooney moving in, which apparently is valued around 10 million, because they get no fee, but apparently there was some dealings there. Yeah. Plus, I mean, when this transfer market is absolutely crazy.
You know what? Like, MJ, I don't know how a grime artist, managed to sign for Man United, mate.
I like Stormzy. Oh, yeah. I like Stormzy's doing well. Stormzy's doing well.
Football and grime, yeah? Football and grime.
Football and grime all the way. So, yeah. But back to Liverpool. Naby Keita is worth every penny we can get him from. Like we said, this is a player who has more interceptions than Kante, and actually gives you goals. Yeah, I mean, he was the driving force for RB Leipzig, and they finished second behind Bayern Munich, ahead of Bayer Leverkusen, who fell by the wayside, ahead of Borussia Dortmund with Thomas Tuchel and all the talent they've got. He was actually the main star. He is the main star at RB Leipzig. So Liverpool bid 66 million today, and that's been knocked back. The owner, because we need to remember, this Leipzig club is RB Leipzig. They've been backed by Red Bull. So this is Red Bull's football team. I mean, everyone's aware of Red Bull.
That's how he gets his energy. That's how he makes all those interceptions.
Well, hopefully we get some of that formula over at Liverpool to inject some of the players as well.
Well, obviously, now that Lucas is gone.
Well, yeah, as well.
But MJ, have you heard that Manchester United are also interested in Naby Keita? They could potentially try to hijack the move.
No, I mean, that has basically, it's a rumour that's been started to kind of drive the price up.
So the agents.
Because, I mean, it's the exact same thing we found out, that apparently United were going to come in for Bakayoko. Because of the way United handled the Lukaku deal, at the moment, United are the boogeyman. So if you're trying to sign anyone, the agent goes, United are coming in, and they just expect you to just pay a little bit more, pay a little bit extra, because if not, your top target will move to Manchester United. But no, United are looking at Matic from Chelsea, who Mourinho knows well, and will probably end up at Juventus, because Chelsea are quite upset by the way the Lukaku situation handled. And the other player they're looking at is Nyke, who is probably set to sign a new longer-term deal. So but there's loads of midfielders out there, and there's still a lot of time. Still 2 months before the transfer window closes.
Yeah, it seems like daily, every day there's some news about transfers. I mean, the season's not far away, in fairness. It's really close.
And the biggest one of the summer, probably the potential new world record.
PSG
coming in for Neymar Zita, which would be absolutely crazy if they can actually pull that one off.
I mean, come on, 222 million for a player. It's crazy.
Euros comes to 195 million pounds.
It's ridiculous.
You say it's crazy, but here's the crazy thing about it. PSG were ready to actually meet Neymar's buyout clause, which was around 125 million last summer. Neymar flirted with PSG, pretended as if he wanted to go there, and got a brand new contract last summer. And the buyout clause was raised to 195 million. PSG still mean business, but they're not sure if Neymar is just using them as a smokescreen to sign another massive deal. Because we all know what's going on at Barcelona. It's similar to what's going on at Real Madrid. Cristiano Ronaldo gets a new contract every 6 months.
That's right, yeah.
Now, Lionel Messi has just signed a new long-term contract at Barcelona, again upping his wages. And Neymar wants to be part of the show. He's like, if you guys are both getting contracts every 6 months, I want a contract every 6 months. But the rumours are true. Neymar, even though he does want a new contract, he's prepared to leave Barcelona this summer. He's tired of living in Lionel Messi's shadow.
Yep.
And Lionel Messi, actually, apparently, allegedly, he's got a clause in his contract in which he has a say on who comes into the club. Wow. So he's actually more influential than the sporting director or the manager, because Neymar wanted a few of his buddies to come over. He wanted Coutinho, someone who he was quite close with, to sign from Liverpool, but Messi kind of blocked that. So at the moment, those two are kind of playing who is going to really have the power struggle. And I think Neymar knows, in order to win the Ballon d'Or, he can't win it whilst he's playing with Lionel Messi, because he has to play second fiddle to Messi. He's got to pass the ball to Messi, and Messi's the star man. So
But would it make more sense though, MJ, if Barca got rid of Messi and kept Neymar? Neymar's what, 25, 26? That would make more sense in the long run.
But Messi is Barcelona, who has just signed a new bumper 5-year deal. So Messi's going nowhere. He literally signed after he got married 10 days ago. So he's going nowhere. His situation is absolutely sorted. But at the same time, Barcelona are actually open to the idea, because they're thinking if they get 195 million for him, they can actually go on and sign some players. They can sign someone like Ousmane Dembele, who's someone they want. Ousmane Dembele from Dortmund. He's
Mbappe, maybe?
And sign a few other players. I mean, they want Verratti, but however, Paris Saint-Germain don't want to actually swap or do anything there. But Verratti is actually Barcelona's main target this summer. So it's actually pretty exciting. It could actually go ahead. It's on a knife edge. But at the same time, when it comes to football agents and politics being played around contracts, you don't know. Does the player really want to go? Or
I'll tell you what, MJ. I would urge Barca to make a move for Coutinho.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that. I think, to be honest, I think Alexis Sanchez, who's been to Barcelona, would be a better fit. You know, yeah.
He's perfectly happy at the Emirates, mate. He's very happy. Didn't you see him last season? He was very happy at the Emirates, mate.
You know, I actually saw him 3 days ago when he came out and said, "I want to leave," pretty much. So yeah,
I want Champions League football.
Yeah, he gave this interview in which he pretty much said he wanted to leave without saying he wants to leave. But he said, Arsenal know what I want. It's not up to me what the final decision is. I want Champions League football. I'm very ambitious. I want to win the Champions League. But from all indications, it seems as if Paris Saint-Germain are actually interested in buying Sanchez. And it's looking that will be Alexis Sanchez's most likely destination come the start of the season.
If he wants Champions League football, mate, he can play me on FIFA.
How about that? As well. Eat that as well, so actually probably doesn't want to play you on FIFA. We all know about your ultra defensive stance. Playing 10 men behind the ball.
Mourinho style. 2 right backs, 2 left backs.
Mate, speaking of 2 right backs, City have spent £18 million just on right backs this season.
That's Pep for you, isn't it? He's a spender.
City will come again.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Walker, 50 million. I mean, come on,
that's ridiculous.
It's a joke, mate.
I know, and Frankie B, you're telling me 66 from Naby Keita is overpriced. Who the hell would pay 54 million for Kyle Walker? He's the most expensive defender in the history of football. Is that not crazy? Kyle Walker.
I mean, you think of the greats, Lilian Thuram, Cannavaro, you think of all these greats, and then Kyle Walker's at the top of the list, mate.
It's an absolute joke. I'll tell you what's even more of a joke. In the top 5, you've got people like John Stones. Like, what the hell's going on? Football's gone mad. Football's gone absolutely mad. But what about Arsenal, Frankie B? I mean, how are you? Are you guys optimistic about future signings? I mean, if Sanchez does move, how do you see the Sanchez situation? And if he moves, who would you like to? Someone like Thomas Lemar, would that be someone who you would like to see?
Yeah, Thomas Lemar, I don't know much about him, I'll be honest with you. I do know he played well for Monaco last season, but he's not the star player of Monaco. The star player is Mbappe. I think we would all agree on that. And I think Arsenal's not a case with the players. I mean, I watched them against Bayern Munich in the Shanghai Cup, and the same tactical frailties are still there. It does not matter. The players does not matter. It's the tactical approach. The defence is still open. And unless we change our coach and our philosophy from the top, we're not going anywhere. I'll be honest with you. So, players-wise, I don't think it makes a big difference. I think it's internal changes that need to happen.
I know, but surely, Frankie B, a new signing might lift the club, especially if someone as big and as influential as Alexis Sanchez might be on his way out. I mean, we don't know this for sure, but just based on everything we know about Wenger, the opportunity to actually get an extra 15 million or let a player walk on a free next season, I don't think Arsenal Football Club, just because of Arsene Wenger, will let him walk out on the free. And to be honest, it's the right.
He can't go to City. He can't go to City. He can't go to Man United. He can't go to any English club You know, as Fergie said to Liverpool, I wouldn't sell him a virus, mate.
So, actually, I think it was Real Madrid he said that too, actually. So, when they wanted to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, he goes, I wouldn't even sell him a virus.
I mean, Pascal, in terms of Arsenal, are you in agreement with me? It's not really about external changes. It's more about internally. We need to change our mentality first.
Well, of course, I think that the players need to believe that they can win the Premier League title in the first instance. There has been a shift in the mindset, and this fourth finishing for the last 20 odd years, for the last 11 years has been a very big problem for the Arsenal players, because there's no belief that they can actually win the Premier League title, and there's always been this concern over the players in the shadows of Chelsea, Manchester United, or even Manchester City, who are spending big money, who are acquiring the players that once upon a time would have been linked to Arsenal, and now we know we have a resurgence in the north, in Liverpool, who are now beginning to gain a bit more momentum, and want to cement their spot more regularly and be part of the Champions League discussion and narrative going forward. There's also a lot of investment in Everton as well, the rival club of Liverpool, who also want to barge their way through to the fourth spot. So it's going to prove to be more difficult for Arsenal to maintain that winning mentality. But don't get me wrong, the team still very much is a competitive team. The manager, despite his shortcomings, still wants to lift the Premier League trophy, and one day lift the Champions League trophy. But there has to be a change of philosophy. Wenger has to learn how to reinvent himself. Is the answer in buying players for a lot of money, breaking the bank? As you say, Frankie B, I'm not so sure, because it's not necessarily about spending the money, it's about managing the team, managing the squad. And if we can take the last game of the season, when Arsenal played
against Chelsea, did you see what I seen?
Chelsea, that is certainly, that's the kind of performance that the fans want to see in a new season going forward. And if Wenger can do that with the set of players he did just before the end of the season, we can have something to be hopeful for. We can look towards the future as the future being brighter. But it's about, can Wenger sustain that momentum with the players? Can he infuse week in, week out with the players with the kind of, effervescence that they need, with the kind of encouragement that they need, the kind of support that they need, to win every game week by week? And this is what a lot of fans are worried about.
Pascal, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with everything you said there. But we need to remember, this Premier League, everybody is going to get better.
Yep, including West Ham.
City are going to get better. Everton have been better. Everyone, so the same players. You can't just use the same players plus Lacazette. Especially since, okay, I'll actually give you a more direct question. If, in the event of Alexis Sanchez leaving, who would you like to fill that void? Because Arsenal at the moment are being heavily linked with Riyad Mahrez, former PFA Player of the Year 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they're also being linked with Thomas Lemar, which is seeming a little bit more because, Monaco would have made, God knows, about 200 million by the time, and that's without selling Mbappe.
And tax-free, of course.
Well, yeah, that as well. So they're not exactly, plus they're being backed by a Russian billionaire, so they're not exactly hurting for the money. So, but you've got someone like, would you like to see Riyad Mahrez at Arsenal, or do you think he's overrated? Today someone said Mahrez will be a disaster at Arsenal, because if you have him and Mesut Ozil, you're going to have a soft spine there. It's going to be two luxury players that don't really enjoy working that hard. So that could be a serious problem.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Mahrez is frustrated at the fact that Barcelona have not come for him. So, the next option for him would be to go to Arsenal potentially. But as you say, there's not enough spine, in that particular team. And who do you get? The only solace that the Arsenal fans would probably want to see is for a world record, acquisition of Mbappe, and certainly the news are saying that it could be worth in the region of £140 million, or so.
I hate to dispel you on the Mbappe thing, but Mbappe is definitely not happening, because he either signs with Monaco or he moves to Madrid, and the reason why it's not happening is because Paris Saint-Germain have offered him something like 200 and something thousand pounds. Arsenal not going to offer him that much money. And to be honest, it wouldn't be prudent to offer a 19-year-old, an 18-year-old that sort of money. It'd be too much too soon.
Of course, yeah.
But it's just based on the fact Arsenal will not match those wages, because if they did that, then everyone's going to come in and say, I want 200k a week. So because of that, maybe not Mbappe, but basically the point I'm trying to get at is that the transfer window, the quality players seem to be moving on. And Wenger knows, because there's no way Arsenal don't know Alexis has made up his mind, he wants to leave. Arsenal Football Club are not the sort of football club to miss out on money. They will sell him, no two ways about that. Especially with Paris Saint-Germain.
It's a business, yeah.
It's a foreign club. So there's a big hole there. There's a void there. And it's just like Wenger he's actually enjoying the fact this is rambling on and on and on.
Well, do you know what I'll take though, MJ? I will take money for Alexis plus Draxler. That would do me.
Well, yeah, actually, you know what?
Done deal.
You know, if you could get that would actually be a really good deal. Mm-hmm. Because at the moment, it seems like what's going to happen is Arsenal are probably going to bank that money towards the end of the summer, and they're going to go out there panic buy, or just be like, oh, we have no players. Like, they know that they're going to sell him to Paris Saint-Germain, because they don't want to sell him to City or United. They don't want to make mistakes of the past.
Of course.
They know this is a player that has said he will not sign, and this is a player who's ready to move elsewhere and earn big wages and everything like that. It would be sensible to just get the deal done early. Or if they're going to
Liverpool would like that.
Well, to be honest, you know, I'm thinking about the Premier League. In actual fact, Liverpool wouldn't like that. Liverpool would like what's going on now. This kind of ambiguity. A top player is going to come back, and Arsenal are probably going to sell him in the last minute with not many players on the market. So in actual fact, from a Liverpool fan's point of view, watching what's going on now is like, that's what you want from your rivals. But for you boys as Arsenal fans,
I mean, I don't really get excited when I hear past rumours of Wenger ready in the move for Chris Smalling.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's one that is still. I mean, we haven't heard anything on that so far. So Koscielny's still there.
Koscielny's getting a bit. He's getting on a bit. But to West Ham. Now, Pascal, West Ham seem to be quite serious now. Hernandez is on the brink, and Arnautovic from Stoke. West Ham are not playing.
Joe Hart.
Yes, of course. And
Joe Hart also,
that as well. There's also interest in Jack Wilshere from West Ham also, you know. So, you know, it seems to me that
Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere, yeah. But I mean, look, first looking at Javier Hernandez, you know, a very good goal record for Bayer Leverkusen, you know, a player that's already adapted to the Premier League, you know, and wherever he has played, he seems to adapt himself very well, whether he's for Mexico, Manchester United, or Bayer Leverkusen. I expect, you know, him to bring certainly a lot more quality in the final third, you know, and he will be a player that will score a lot of goals, you know. You're looking at least 10 goals, you know, from him alone, you know, so it'll be a very good acquisition, and I believe that the terms are pretty much agreed, so it'll be good to see Chicharito back in the Premier League. As for Arnautovic, you know, the fake version of what's his name? Not Alexis. He looks very much like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yes, you know, the Austrian version. You know, look, he's a tall player, very strong, you know, good ball control, and he shows shades of good quality. And for West Ham, you know, that combination of flair, you know, a box striker in Hernandez, and, you know, having the link-up play with Arnautovic could cause, you know, a lot of defenses, a lot of trouble, you know. So I think that would be a very good opportunity for, you know, the interchange between, you know, Andy Carroll, you know, who's also very tall, very strong, very good in the air, you know, very good centre forward,
yeah.
And having
space
that
for Hernandez.
Yeah, you know, so you could have a lot of options there, you know, and if they want to add, you know, they're adding Joe Hart, of course, in goals, you know, very good prospect for Joe Hart. Also to consider the World Cup, and to get a lot of attempts on goal. So it will be good to see how Joe Hart will also adapt from the Italian league back to the Premiership. You know, as he lost his touch, so will he prove himself and his doubters wrong that he can still play at the highest level? And if they were to acquire Jack Wilshere in midfield, it will be a very good acquisition for them, you know. So it seems to be that West Ham, you know, are wanting to better, you know, what ended up in the league last season. You know, there was some criticism from the fans, you know, that the team was not performing as well as they should have, and they've addressed that, and they're certainly looking to address that quite well in those acquisitions.
Yes, yeah. Do you think West Ham are looking good, MJ, for Europa place next season?
Absolutely. You definitely have to say they'll be up there fighting with Everton, another team that's actually had a lot of investment. They lost Lukaku, but they signed Rooney. They've signed a lot of players as well. So West Ham, you imagine, will fight with Southampton and Everton, and hopefully none of the other top 6 guys. So yeah, hopefully Liverpool wouldn't be involved in that battle. So yeah, or anybody else. So yeah, hopefully it'll just be those teams. But no, West Ham have done some solid business and they're looking quite good.
So in terms of Liverpool, just to close, obviously Keita, you might get Keita if it happens. But where else are you looking to strengthen? Would you say?
I mean, we're gonna sign Andrew Robertson from Hull City, left back. We're signing for
Scottish guy.
Yeah, Scottish guy, exactly. We're signing for £8 million, but at the same time we're selling them Kevin Stewart for £8 million, who's this 23-year-old central defensive midfielder we got on a free from Tottenham about 3 years ago, who's played, I don't know, about 6-7 Premier League games. So in actual fact, we're signing Robertson for nothing. We are selling Alberto Moreno to Roma or Napoli for about £14 million is the asking price. We still need to get rid of Mamadou Sakho, who we thought we were still going to sell to Crystal Palace for 30 million,
yeah.
A lot of money, but however, Crystal Palace did sign the Ajax centre-back yesterday, a pretty good young Ajax centre-back, 21-year-old chap, but actually quite good, quite astute. So I don't know if they will still be interested with Sakho, which leaves us with, we've got a left-back now, and we've obviously got the striker nailed down now. We're looking quite good, actually. So the only thing we actually need now is to actually complete this Keita deal and sign a centre-back. So fingers crossed, we've got like 2 months to get it done. Hopefully we get the business done and we're ready come the start of the Premier League.
Fingers crossed. And any tributes to your midfield dynamo who's left, Lucas?
To be honest, I'm just glad he left. He should have left years ago. He is the longest serving player, and he's actually
10
lost.
years,
Blood, sweat and guts. But I'll tell you what was actually quite intriguing about Lucas was the fact that back in the last season, Lucas thought the club were actually going to give him a testimonial. So he was like, guys, they've been here for 10 years. Are you guys going to give me a testimonial? And the club turned around and said, no, unfortunately we're not, because we're going up to Australia right at the end of the season, and we've got so many competitions, and we're getting ready for the Champions League qualifier, because we still have to qualify, unlike United. But anyway, so they decided to actually throw him a party instead. So, you do 10 years at a club, you want your testimonial, but no, he just got he got a party, and we finally got rid of him. We gave him a party as a parting gift.
All I remember, my highlight of Lucas was when he took that shot from 30 yards and dribbled along the floor and out for a goal kick.
You know, when you say that shot, I think that happened quite a few times over the course of his 10 years at Anfield. But no, great servant for Liverpool.
Now that's our time. I'd like to thank CC, Stun, Pascal and MJ. Join us again next week for another Pep Talk UK podcast. Don't forget to please hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. Thank you.